You never stood a chance. Not because you weren't good enough, because the game ended before you knew it started. Not because you failed, because you were. Solving problem that stopped existing months ago. Not because she stopped loving you. Because she finished leaving before you noticed she'd begun. You kept trying to fix what was already destroyed. Kept fighting for someone who'd already surrendered. Kept building future with. Person who'd already left. Every effort was a reaction to reality that no longer existed. Every attempt was a response to a relationship that had already ended. She was already gone. Not yesterday, not last week, not when she finally told you. She left months before that. Left in moment you didn't witness. During silence you didn't notice. Through door you didn't see close. And you kept showing up to empty room, kept calling to disconnected line, kept trying to save corpse. You think devastation is her leaving. Devastation is realizing she left 6 months ago, and you just kept trying, kept investing, kept believing, kept hoping, kept fighting for relationship that existed only in your perception, kept performing for audience that had already exited theater. This isn't about why she left. This is about when she left, and when was long before you knew, long before she told you, long before anything looked wrong. She left while everything seemed fine. Left while you thought you were building, left while you believed you were winning. You weren't competing. You were already behind. Weren't fighting to keep her. Were fighting to catch up to truth everyone else could see. Weren't trying to save relationship, or trying to deny relationship was already over. What if I told you there's exact moment every relationship ends? Moment that has nothing to do with final conversation. Nothing to do with official breakup. Nothing to do with when she moves out. Moment where she decides internally, and everything after is just formality, just paperwork, just making official what already became real. That moment happened, you missed it, and missing it meant living months in relationship that had already ended, meant trying months to fix what had already broken, meant believing months in future that had already been canceled. Millions of men are discovering this right now, discovering she was already gone, discovering their effort was directed at ghost, discovering their trying was performance in empty theater. And discovery devastates not because she left, but because she left so long ago. I watched exact moment she left, watched her cross threshold. You didn't see, watched her close door. You didn't hear, watched her decide. While you remained unaware, you were insane. Room believing relationship was alive. While I watched it die, you were trying while she was leaving. Investing while she was divesting. Building while she was demolishing. If you're watching this because she's gone and you didn't see it coming, if you're destroyed because you thought everything was fine, if you're confused because you were still trying when she stopped, comment already gone below. Not for me, for you. To mark moment you stopped being behind. Now let me show you what trying looks like when person already left. Here's what you don't understand about effort after ending. It doesn't matter. Doesn't change anything. Doesn't reach anyone. You're repairing house after family moved out. You're watering plant after it died. You're calling number that's been disconnected. You're sending letters to address that's been abandoned. You're making reservations for restaurant that's been closed. You're buying gifts for birthday that won't be celebrated. Your trying isn't noble. It's delayed. Isn't dedication. It's denial. Isn't love. It's lag. Lag between when relationship ended and when you accepted it ended. Lag between when she left and when you noticed. Lag between reality and your perception of reality. Lag between what was happening and what you believed was happening. She decided in March. You're fighting in December. She left in spring. You're trying in winter. She ended it in silence. You're discovering it in noise. 9 months of effort directed at relationship that stopped existing 9 months ago. 9 months of trying aimed at person who stopped being your girlfriend 9 months ago. 9 months of building toward future that was canceled 9 months ago. Every text you sent trying to reconnect reached person who'd already disconnected. Every conversation you initiated trying to fix things reached person who'd already decided things were unfixable. Every gesture you made trying to show love reached person who'd already stopped receiving. Every apology you offered trying to make things right reached person who'd already stopped caring about things being wrong. Not because she was cruel, because she was done, not because she didn't care, because she'd already cared and stopped, not because she was evil, because she was gone. And being gone means your trying doesn't land, your effort doesn't register, your love doesn't reach. Your apologies don't matter. Your gestures don't move her. Your words don't touch her. But here's what I watched while you remained unaware. I watched you try after she left, watched you fight after she surrendered, watched you build after she demolished, and watching man invest in relationship with ghost, watching man fight for person who already left, watching man try to fix what person already destroyed. This is among cruelest patterns I've observed across time. Because you thought trying mattered, thought effort counted, thought persistence meant something, but trying after ending is just noise. Effort after leaving is just motion. You were performing relationships solo, having conversations with yourself, building future alone. Every interaction you thought was mutual was actually one-sided. Every moment you thought was shared was actually solitary. Every connection you felt was actually projection. Every intimacy you experienced was actually imagination. Every progress you believed you were making was actually regression into deeper denial. She wasn't connecting. She was tolerating, wasn't engaging. She was managing, wasn't present. She was waiting for right. Time to make official what had already become real, waiting for moment to announce what had already happened, waiting to tell you what she'd already decided, waiting for courage to end what she'd already ended, internally waiting for opportunity to leave what she'd already left emotionally. And you interpreted her tolerance as engagement, her management as participation, her waiting as presence. Every misread extended your trying. Every misinterpretation prolonged your effort. Every false signal delayed your acceptance. Every misunderstood gesture postponed your awareness. Every wrongly translated silence extended your investment. This is what misreading looks like when you're months behind. You thought silence meant she was processing. Silence meant she was done processing. You thought distance meant she needed space. Distance meant she'd already created permanent separation. You thought her coldness meant she was going through something. Her coldness meant she'd already gone through it and reached conclusion. You thought her withdrawal meant she was protecting herself. Her withdrawal meant she was already protected by being gone. Every sign said gone. You read every sign as staying. Every indicator said ended. You interpreted every indicator as struggling. Every signal said over. You translated every signal as difficult. Every message said finished. You decoded every message as complicated. Every communication said done. You understood every communication as processing. This is what trying after leaving looks like. Misreading conclusion as confusion. Interpreting decision as doubt. Seeing ending as difficulty. Understanding finality as temporary. Translating permanent as provisional. Reading gone as distant. Interpreting left as withdrawn. Seeing ended as paused. And these misreads, these misinterpretations, these false translations, they extended your trying long past its relevance, prolonged your effort long past its usefulness, continued your performance long past its audience, maintained your investment long past its return, sustained your building long past its foundation. But here's what makes this devastating beyond the trying itself. Trying harder wouldn't have changed anything. If you'd tried twice as hard, she'd have still been gone. If you'd been twice as good, relationship would still have ended. If you'd done everything perfectly, she still would have left. Because she didn't leave, because you weren't trying hard enough. She left because she decided to leave. Because she didn't leave, because you weren't good enough. She left because she'd concluded you weren't right. Because she didn't leave because you failed. She left because she'd finished evaluating. And decision isn't about effort. Decision is about conclusion. Conclusion reached through internal process you weren't part of. Conclusion formed through evaluation you didn't know was happening. Conclusion made in moment you didn't witness. Conclusion arrived at through path you didn't walk. Conclusion determined by factors you didn't control. You can't out-try a decision, can't out-effort a conclusion, can't outperform an ending. Trying harder just means you were more invested in a relationship that had already ended. Effort just means you fought harder for a person who'd already left. Performance just means you acted longer in theater that had already emptied. Persistence just means you denied longer what had already become true. More trying wouldn't have brought her back because she wasn't temporarily away, she was permanently gone. More effort wouldn't have changed her mind because her mind was already changed. More performance wouldn't have made her stay because she'd already left. More persistence wouldn't have reversed her decision because her decision was already final. More investment wouldn't have saved relationship because relationship was already dead. Your trying was directed at wrong target. Your effort addressed wrong problem. Your performance played to wrong audience. You were trying to keep her. Should have been trying to accept she was gone. You were trying to fix relationship. Should have been trying to accept relationship was over. You were trying to build future. Should have been trying to accept future was canceled. You were trying to change her mind. Should have been trying to accept her mind was made. Different trying entirely. Trying aimed at acceptance, not reversal. Trying directed at reality, not fantasy. Trying focused on what is not what was. Trying oriented toward truth, not illusion. Trying designed for letting go, not holding on. But you didn't know, couldn't know, because she created space for your denial. She was still physically present, still nominally your girlfriend, still technically in relationship. Physical presence made you believe emotional presence. Nominal status made you believe actual status. Technical relationship made you believe real relationship. Her body being there made you believe she was there. Her title being yours made you believe she was yours. Her participation in routine made you believe she was participating. You were reading wrong signals, measuring wrong metrics, tracking wrong indicators. Presence isn't engagement. Status isn't investment. Relationship label isn't relationship reality. Physical proximity isn't emotional connection. Participation in routine isn't participation in relationship. Going through motions isn't being in motion. She was present like furniture is present. Status like title without substance. Relationship like contract after one party already breached. There but not there. Yours but not yours. In relationship but already out. Present but absent. Connected but disconnected. Together but alone. Participating but withdrawn. Engaged but detached. Yours but gone. And this presence without engagement, status without investment, relationship without reality, this created space for your. Trying created context for your effort, created illusion that trying mattered, created appearance that effort was reaching her, created false sense that persistence was making difference, created misleading feedback that performance was being received. If she'd left physically, when she left emotionally, your trying would have stopped. If she'd ended it officially, when she ended it internally, your effort would have ceased. If she'd made public what had become private, your performance would have concluded. If she'd announced externally what she'd decided internally, your investment would have ended. If she'd revealed outwardly what she'd concluded inwardly, your building would have halted. And this gap between her internal ending and external announcement is where cruelty lives. Not intentional cruelty, structural cruelty. Cruelty of lag between decision and declaration. Cruelty of delay between internal ending and external announcement. Cruelty of time between when she left and when she told you. Cruelty of space between when she decided and when she revealed. Cruelty of distance between when relationship ended and when ending was acknowledged. During this gap, you kept trying, kept investing, kept believing. Every day making relationship more real in your mind while it became less real in hers. Every effort deepening your investment while her divestment completed. Every attempt strengthening your attachment while her detachment finalized. Every gesture increasing your commitment while her withdrawal concluded. Every action building your future while her exit prepared. You were moving toward while she was moving away. Investing while she was withdrawing, building while she was deconstructing, committing while she was detaching. Attaching while she was releasing, pursuing while she was fleeing, opposite directions, opposite trajectories, opposite realities, opposite timelines, opposite destinations. And not knowing this, not seeing this, not accepting this, meant your trying was performance for no one. Your effort was investment in nothing. Your building was construction on condemned ground. Your fighting was battle already lost. Your pursuing was chase already ended. Your loving was offering already refused. She was already gone. Gone in ways you couldn't see, through process you didn't witness, via decision you weren't part of, by path you didn't walk, through door you didn't notice, across threshold you didn't recognize, into distance you didn't measure, toward future that didn't include you, away from past you still inhabited, beyond present you still occupied, and being gone meant your trying didn't reach her. Your effort didn't touch her. Your love didn't move her. Your persistence didn't affect her. Your commitment didn't matter to her. Your dedication didn't register with her. Your investment didn't return from her. Your building didn't include her. Your future didn't contain her. Not because she was heartless, because she was already past heart. Not because she was cold, because she was already beyond feeling. Not because she didn't care, because she'd already completed. Caring not because she was cruel, because she was already past cruelty into indifference. Not because she was evil, because she was already beyond good and evil into absence. Let me show you where she was. You were trying. She was on other side of ending, while you were still on this side of trying. She was in acceptance, while you were in effort. She was in conclusion, while you were in attempt. She was in finality, while you were in persistence. She was in done, while you were in doing. She was in past, while you were in present. She was in gone, while you were in here. Different spaces entirely, different realities completely, different timelines totally. She was months ahead of you, months past where you were, months beyond point you occupied, months further along path you hadn't started, months deeper into truth you hadn't accepted, months more progressed toward end you hadn't acknowledged. And this temporal gap, this reality distance, this timeline separation, meant your trying was message sent to past, effort directed at person who no longer existed, love offered to relationship that had already ended, commitment made to future that had already been canceled, investment placed in account that had already been closed, building constructed on land that had already been sold. You weren't trying to keep her. You were trying to keep ghost. Weren't fighting for relationship. We're fighting for memory. Weren't building future. We're building memorial. Weren't saving what was. We're preserving what had been. Weren't maintaining reality. We're constructing fantasy. Weren't living in present. We're trapped in past. She was already gone, had been gone, would continue being gone. Your trying didn't change this. Your effort didn't alter this. Your persistence didn't reverse this. Your commitment didn't undo this. Your love didn't prevent this. Your dedication didn't stop this. Your investment didn't retrieve this. Your building didn't restore this. Your fighting didn't win this. Because gone isn't state that trying fixes. Gone isn't condition that effort changes. Gone isn't position that persistence reverses. Gone is conclusion. Conclusion that has already been reached. Decision that has already been made. Ending that has already occurred. Finality that has already arrived. Departure that has already happened. Exit that has already completed. And you kept trying anyway. Kept trying despite, kept trying regardless. Not because trying made sense, because accepting didn't. Not because trying would work, because accepting was impossible. Not because trying mattered, because stopping meant admitting. Admitting she was already gone. Admitting your effort was wasted. Admitting your trying was performance for empty theater. Admitting relationship ended months ago. Admitting you were alone while believing you were together. And this is what admission destroys when it finally comes. This admission destroys. Destroys image you had of relationship. Destroys timeline you believed in. Destroys reality you constructed. Destroys months of trying by revealing trying was directed at nothing. Destroys investment by showing investment had no recipient. Destroys effort by exposing effort reached no one. Destroys building by demonstrating building was on emptiness. Destroys fighting by proving fighting was against truth, not for relationship. So you avoid admission by continuing trying, postpone acceptance by extending effort, delay truth by maintaining performance. Trying becomes way to not know. Effort becomes method to not see. Performance becomes strategy to not accept. Persistence becomes technique to not acknowledge. Commitment becomes mechanism to not admit. Investment becomes system to not recognize. But admission comes anyway. Comes when she finally announces. Comes when she finally leaves physically. Comes when external reality finally matches internal reality she'd been living for months. Comes when public catches up to private. Comes when outside aligns with inside. Comes when what everyone sees matches what she's known. Comes when appearance meets essence. Comes when performance ends and reality remains. And when admission comes, when you finally know she was already gone, here's what devastation actually is. Devastation isn't that she left, devastation is that she left so long ago. Devastation isn't ending, devastation is discovering ending happened months before you knew. Devastation isn't her departure, devastation is realizing her departure occurred while you thought she was arriving. Devastation isn't loss, devastation is understanding loss happened while you thought you were gaining. Devastation is realizing every text you sent trying to connect was sent to person who'd already disconnected. Every conversation you had trying to fix was with person who'd already decided unfixable. Every gesture you made trying to show love was to person who'd already stopped receiving. Every apology you offered trying to heal was to person who'd already moved past needing healing. Every promise you made trying to secure future was to person who'd already canceled future. Every effort you invested trying to save relationship was toward relationship that had already ended. Devastation is understanding your months of trying were months of performing alone. Months of effort were months of investing in nothing. Months of persistence were months of denial. Months of commitment were months of delusion. Months of building were months of construction on void. Months of fighting were months of battle against reality. Devastation is seeing, finally seeing, that she was already gone while you thought she was staying, was already gone while you believed you were building, was already gone while you tried to fix, was already gone while you fought to keep, was already gone while you invested to secure, was already gone while you committed to future. She was already gone. You just kept trying to reach person who'd left, kept trying to fix relationship that had ended, kept trying to build future that had been canceled, kept trying because stopping meant accepting, accepting meant admitting, admitting meant destroying, destroying image, destroying timeline, destroying reality, destroying months of trying by seeing trying was directed at ghost, at memory, at past, at nothing, at absence, at gone. I watched you try after she left, watched your effort reach nothing, watched your trying change nothing. You thought trying mattered. Trying was just delay. You thought effort counted. Effort was just denial. You thought persistence meant something. Persistence was just lag. You thought commitment proved something. Commitment just extended delusion. You thought investment would return. Investment went into void. Lag between when she left and when you noticed. Lag between when relationship ended and when you accepted. Lag between reality and your perception of reality. Lag between what was and what you believed was. Lag between truth and your understanding of truth. Lag between gone and your recognition of gone. She was already gone, and you just kept trying. I'll be watching.